Most AutoCAD learners don't know how to work with relative polar coordinates, or it's really complicated for them. But if you want to learn it in easy form and be an expert, be with me till the end. Let's crush it! Hello, dear learners, and welcome to your YouTube channel, Civil Engineering with Reza. I'm very happy that you are following and continuing our tutorials on learning AutoCAD. It's really an honor for me, and I promise you that your knowledge will be deeper by following these tutorials in AutoCAD. This session, we are going to learn about polar coordinates, how to work with them. So, are you ready? Let's start. So, as you remember, till now we have worked on random and arbitrary point method, the absolute coordinates, the relative coordinates in rectangular form, the direct input method, the fast way of working with drawing the lines, and the other way is relative polar coordinates, the final part of working with coordinates. So to know what it is, let's come to UCS part, and we are here like always. We have our origin here, and we want to learn how we can work with polar coordinates. Actually, in polar coordinates, we need the radius, a length, and a degree to input. Now let's see how we can work with them. Like always, we call our command, which is line. I say that line. I use different ways of working to make your brain ready for different ways. You can use alias, you can use this complete command of that, you can directly click on the ribbon part, all of them. But let's continue and check our first point. Let's say that it's, for example, 5, 5. Enter. Now it's my first point. As you remember from previous session, now my cursor is restricted in this form. It means that the ortho mode is active. How can I make it inactive? Yes, you are right. By clicking on this part or directly using the Fn and F8. Now my cursor is free. And so one point I need to say that here, as I have told you previously, the degree sign in AutoCAD is counterclockwise in positive form. So if I go in counterclockwise, it's the positive sign of AutoCAD. If I want to go in the clockwise, I need to add negative sign for that. It's a key point here. Now, I told you, in working with AutoCAD, with polar coordinates, as you see here, when I come to this part, I have a box, which is highlighted here is with blue color. It's the length that I want to add. But near that, in dynamic input, you can see at the bottom a degree. It says that it's 33 degree. So it works in polar coordinates now. If I want to say what is my length, I say that, for example, it's 5. But if I use comma, it means it's similar to relative coordinates. It gets from me the y direction, but I don't work with relative or absolute coordinates. I shouldn't work with comma. This part, I have two choices. I can use the tab key or the smaller sign key. But a smaller sign key needs to be simultaneously checked with shift key. Let's work with tab. I add tab. As you see now, my length is restricted. I cannot increase my length. Just I can change my degree. As you see, it's the positive sign. If I come here, it shows the negative sign, but I can do it in a manner. if I don't want to add the negative value, I can check by this cursor the direction of that. I say that no, let's work with the, for example, positive direction. I want to draw it in 45 degree. I say 45, enter. Now it's a line with the length of 5 and degree of 45. Now let's use another line with length of 3 and the degree of 30. Now I say that this time again 3. Should I use comma? No, not at all. I need to use tab or shift key plus a smaller than sign. Now I use the second method. I check the shift and smaller than sign. Now, as you see, again, the length is restricted, asks me about the degree of that. I told you I need it to be 30. These are based on my east. When I say my 0 start of degree is east, now when I say 30, it's 30 degree based on my east. Now, I have mentioned you adding the negative sign of that. How can I do that? Now, I click on my line again. I come to this part. For example, I choose an arbitrary point. I say that this time I want to draw a line with the length of, for example, 10. And I use tab. This time I want it to be in clockwise form with the degree of 45. I say minus 45. As you see, instead of this, it will bring in this form. It means that in the fourth quarter of the circle. As you can see, it's in direction. It means that negative sign based on this line in negative form, 45 degrees. It was all information about working with polar coordinates, and thanks for watching. Next session is a special session because we will work with a lot of examples to be an expert in the field of working with coordinates. We will do our examples in the forms of relative coordinates of rectangular one, relative polar coordinates, the direct input method, and also the absolute rectangular coordinates. Thanks for watching. Best wishes. Take care and goodbye.